Everybody, this is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And this video is going to deal with the new trend out here. And it is called hashtag stab. Still they AS is back. All right. And so basically, this movement, this is a new movement to go with the soft girl movement, to go with, there's a lot of things where you see a lot of black women act like they're talking on behalf of men, right? But they're not. And so it's a bunch of women that want their Boaz, but they are not a Ruth. They're not prepared to be wives like Ruth. They're not virgins like Ruth. They're not prepared to serve and be led by a man like Ruth. Okay? And so the question is, how are these the women that all of a sudden going to steal the Afro men who are traveling and getting wives from outside of the United States? How are they going to steal those men away from the women that have been trained to be wives? That's the question. The short answer is they can't, right? This video is going to explain exactly why they can't. But I'm going to discuss this movement by this woman and why it's going to fail, and why brothers are tired of being deceived by all these black women movements when they fought harder for movements based on white people, like the LGBT, like everything white people wanted, feminism, they fought for it. And they fought against us Afro man to get white people what they wanted, even off of the backs of our own civil rights movements. All right, I want y'all to think about that for a second. Let me greet everybody real quick. Hovorten hardugu dag, ola oitavan vasas los, bonjour mes amis, kedabawani konnichiwa, ni hao ni ama, sani bonani, jumbo habarigani, assalamu alaikum, and shalom. All right. Again, brothers have had it. And since you're not talking to us in the first place, and you never were, there is no building the castle that has been created. Sorry about that interruption, but anyway. So, and as we get started, let me remind you that my PayPal me and my Cash App will be in the description box. So if you like what we're doing for the community on this channel, donate. And remember, before you do, make sure you take care of yourself and family first. All right. And don't forget to thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have already, check to make sure you're still subscribed, because people like the shadow ban here. All right. So as we get going. So this is this woman, YouTube. So she has a YouTube. And this is, I guess you would call this the soft girl movement, right? Now, in this stab, which is stealing the Afro man back, right? Stealing the dudes that's traveling back, right? I want you to listen to the group she says she's in, and then we're going to dissect exactly why what she's trying to do will never work, because what she's trying to do does not include the people that created the groups that she talks about, she talks in, she speaks in. Everybody talk about they speak in all these groups like SYSBM and Passport Brothers, right? But these people that got the name aren't the ones that started all this. This stuff started all the way back with me and people like Charles Tyler, period. We were the two main people pushing brothers to get a passport, and Charles Tyler died. All right? And so basically no one ever invited us on no show to talk about why we were going. As a matter of fact, Charles Tyler was dealing with beef in the midst of a visit to Brazil. All right. We've been talking about this issue for a while. And I've never heard anything from this woman. No, it's a bunch of people that made money off of the movements. Then they create hashtags. Then they talk amongst themselves, which is why this woman, like the rest of the dudes that she engaged in conversation with, still don't know what the hell is going on. They can't fix a damn thing because they didn't talk to the people that saw the problem to begin with. They're only dealing with the aftermath and how they're going to lose money by all of us traveling and all the brothers getting on board with that because they make money off of the misery of Afro men. And I'm going to say that again. All right. Now, to understand what I'm talking about, pay attention to this. All right, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to listen to this and then I'll break down what's going on in a minute.
Let me just sit down and kind of pick your brain and see what you were thinking, what your thoughts are, what you're hoping to do, whether or not it's possible, all that. So, before we get kind of deeply into this whole idea, would you mind just explaining to the audience what is STAB and how did you come up with this whole idea?
Okay. So, I've always been kind of in discussions and on panels with SYSBM, Passport Bros, and all that.
All right, now that's her first lie. She's been on panels with dude making money off of FYSBM and Passport Bros, but they are not a part of Passport Bros and they are not a part of SYSBM. I would know this is because I was there at the beginning of both of these groups. And even though I personally didn't start SYSBM, hell, I didn't start Passport Bros either, but I was one of the ones that were the first ones to promote the group when it got started. And Brother Dwight can tell you that because he and others started the group. I promoted the group through my channel after it was first started. And the Passport Bros was a outreach of me and Charles Tyler when we were talking about this. Charles Tyler first with the Brazil thing, and me first with the everybody just get passports and go in everywhere. And we talked, and I was promoting his stuff on my channel, and then we did radio shows together to promote brothers getting passports and leaving the United States. And at the time, I was getting like 1 million views per video before I was shut down by black women.
And me and Alan from We Need to Talk kind of came up with this theory where, it was like STAB, steal they ass back. And he made it a hashtag, and I was like, I love that idea. So what the idea, and I guess what my channel is turning out to be, is black women that are saying we don't want our black men leaving us, and it's to show black.
All right, so I call BS on all of it, and this is why. All right, this is why I said call BS on everything she said. All right, first of all, she's talking with a bunch of people who's trying to make money off of the plight that is going on. All right, and it's not going to work because this is the sentiment of the brothers, right? You can freeze and read, right? Even if I was getting fooled overseas by a woman, at least she's willing to do all the things our own black women are not willing to do, okay? I have a Dominican woman I plan to marry. She's never asked me for anything. She's catered to me the whole time I visited, working towards moving there. And they have strong family values, which is lacking or non-existent in the U.S. with black women. At the end of the day, these women have no loyalty to Afro men. And even when Afro men come together to try to protect them and look out for the community, these women are the black woman is the very ones that sabotage every movement we make to try to protect the family. We was talking about this a long time ago with SYSBM and the passports. Passport Bros started off of and was an offshoot off of myself and Charles Tyler in particular. All right. We've been talking about the issues that is going on in the black community with the black woman. We've been talking about how she has been sabotaging our every move. We've been talking about how she's becoming an adversary or has been an adversary for a while. When my channel was getting millions of views, what made me different from the people you see now is I had all the data up in there. I had all the research pinned in my videos. And so when I was talking about some SH, you can see where I got it from. And this is what the black woman hate. It's one thing to say that 59% of black women have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies, but then it's another thing to go and get the report from a woman who did the research and put that in the video. So unlike Kevin Samuels, when he says it, all right, people take it for true, but I show it to you. But I show it to you in such a way that a lot of people that's making videos right now don't know that the way that platform run come from me. They were able to take that information because I allowed all my videos to be shared. All right, so people took what they needed. And now, here's two things. Black people wouldn't give me credit for all the stuff that they did. They wouldn't give Sotomayor credit. And I didn't get along with Sotomayor, but I gave him credit for stuff that I got off of him, right? But that stopped. Here's the other thing, too. She don't talk with SYSBM or the Passport Bros because they're not interested in us. They're only interested in dudes that's trying to make money off of talking about what's going on instead of doing something about what's going on. And see, that's the problem. That's where it lies. Every man that saw a problem and decided to do something about it, black women shut them down when it came into the black community. The Passport Brothers and the SYSBM, save yourself, black men. That if you talk to Brother Dwight, him and his friends came up with it, and because I was friends with Brother Dwight and some of them watched my channel, I promoted it. I think I was one of the first ones to promote them on my old channels. All right. And so it was an idea they came up with. But this woman never talked to any of us. No one ever talks to the people that's on the ground knowing what's going on. All the stuff that I give and donate over in other countries, I started in the U.S. But again, it was shut down by black women. All right. Now, this is the Detroit 300 you see in the background as you're reading these comments, right? These comments come off of a video that I'm going to put in the description box so that you can see the whole thing of the First Lady. All right. But you can see the whole thing. But these dudes that's coming up with all these hashtags, they're a joke. They've never done anything for the Afro community. They've never done anything for brothers. And now that we're leaving en masse, right? We're leaving because it's too late. We've seen this. All right. She converted, but no, they didn't. I was with a woman that looked like she was down for brothers, and she really wasn't. Get into a relationship. She wanted to do everything her own way, and then she wanted to argue that I shall not be moved. But I had my SH together, right? And I was willing to share what I had done for myself with her, even to the point that I would buy a house, right? But, you know, the Most High reveals that, no, some of these are just really black women. F what they're talking about. F what they're saying, oh, we're trying to get the community back together. There is no community, right? There is no community. The community of black women are those that would tear these men down, especially after looking for the murderers of our children and those who are a great little 13-year-olds and shoot our young ones, right? These men stood up, guarded the community, and black women shut them down, all right? And I'm going to show you the difference between supporting them and actually who they really support. Get something straight. So these women, they use their looks and everything to get simps to give money to them. taking it away from dudes that's actually doing things in the community. All right. And the dudes that's actually doing things in the community, those same black women that's talking about, oh, we need to get our men back. We need to steal them back if we can, right? They're the same ones that SH on the Detroit 300, men like me who was doing stuff with, working with middle schools and stuff to make sure children had clothes and Nike shoes and stuff like that. They warred against us and they railed against us. And the brothers that's leaving, they're leaving because not only did the women fight them, but it was everything that the black woman fought for. She fought for the emasculation of Afro men. She fought for the destruction of the Afro community. She fought for the death of children through abortion. Yes, she's out there fighting hard for abortion. All right, how do you expect to get good men back when you're telling us and you're following the lead of others like Cynthia G, who said she wanted to unalive most Afro men's children, like you abort the Afro male babies. She said that. All right, it's a known fact. It came out her mouth. But no, they support that. She got a lot of people, whereas those same women shut brothers like me down for telling the truth. Worse. And then these black women went and got this Caucasian lawyers and took the Detroit 300 to jail. These were the same men that were fighting to bring people to justice that were taking the lives of children. But they think they're doing something by having panels with a whole bunch of simps who made a lot of money off of having the discussions on YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. They're making a bunch of money, millions of dollars, right? That's going into their pockets where they're doing absolutely nothing for the Afro community. And yes, all those simps, to include these women, and especially the one on the bottom left, the female in the bottom left, they fought real hard to support the emasculation of Afro men and the destruction of families and our children. Oh, abortion is so important to the black woman in the United States. So brothers wanted to get going, get to a place where women believe in having children and building families, where they believe in men should be men, that pronouns should not be necessary in these other countries. And yes, my channel will probably be shut down again by black women and by people in this community. So how do you expect to steal us back into such a disparaging place to live if you're going to be a straight upright Afro man? Why would we want to come back to this garbage? Tell me how you're going to steal us back. Really, I would like to know, because brothers ain't coming back, and you're not strong enough to bring us back kicking and screaming either. All right, and that's just the truth of the matter, that we're not coming back. It's over. Stick a fork in it. The black woman is done as far as we're concerned, because the community is done. You can't build something that's been torn asunder and put down to the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah so bad by these female judges and everything that's been put into power by the very people that wanted us destroyed. No, we don't believe you're serious, and some of us know you're not, right? And so we say, along with the rest of the women complaining about dudes getting passport, that all the B-dubs need to hit that wall, kicking and screaming. And the simps need to go with them, because none of them meant any good to Afro men, their children, a community, or a home. All right, and we know that no matter what y'all say, you really don't mean it. With that said, I'm out.